All right, guys, Chris Paul gets the start for the Phoenix Suns. Utah gets Mike Conley back. What happened? This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. All right, that was a fun game. It was an ugly start for both teams. Basically, both teams coming out, playing high-level defense, trying to get their teams ready for this upcoming season, playing at a level they want to play at. And it showed in the first half stats where it was like, I think at the end of the half, it was like 49-48. But for most of that half, it was a defensive battle. For the Suns, I like what Chris Paul brings. I think one of those things you don't realize is that he's one of those defensive players that helps your team win games with defense. He is a bulldog on the defensive end. He gets steals. He's a smart defender. He does a lot of little things that help you win the game. Not just like get the shots and steals. It's all the little things, the smart plays and moves. And a lot of that is with defense. So Chris Paul helps this team win. And he is going to just get better and better with this group. And they're going to meld because the Suns have a mix of young and veteran talent. And it's going to take them a little time to figure it out. But they looked like they were already pretty decent. Chris Paul and Devin Booker are just going to have to figure out their chemistry a little bit. And when they do, it's going to be an elite backcourt. So fun to watch them play. They have shooters all around them. Ayton still needs to learn to be a better defender because when he can do that, he's got the offensive skills to be a nice offensive, just a nice center in the NBA. I don't know if he's going to be like a superstar, but he can be a center that stretches the floor, hits shots, and plays defense. And if he can do those things, that helps you win games. So if you're the Suns, you've got to be excited, especially with that first half defense. Their defense honestly looked really good, and it really took Utah out of a lot of what they want to do. Now, for Utah, the second half is where you get a little bit excited because honestly, the second half opened, and I think the Jazz scored like 8 points in like 30 seconds, and it was a lot of like bogey threes and Jordan Clarkson too hitting shots. I mean, the Jazz showed in this game what is going to help them win games, because if they can play at least a top 10, top 15 defense and then have an offense like this that can just like explode like that, you've got a team that's going to win a lot of games, especially regular season games. And if they can hit shots in the playoffs, then who knows? But they just hit a massive amount of threes. Tonight, and we should have talked about him last game, but Bojan Bogdanovic is just such a big part of what Utah does. Tonight, Bogdanovic 4 for 9 from the field, but 3 for 7 from 3. And he only played 26 minutes. So if he's playing another 10 minutes and you're getting 10 threes from Bogdanovic, that's massive because it spreads the floor. He's moving really nicely. So he's got a little isolation game. I'd rather see him be more of just a spot up shooter and then like an isolation player secondary. But he does a lot of nice things, and he passes the ball. The Jazz offense just was cooking. Mike Conley looked a little rough in the first half, but then the second half came, and he was bombing threes. I think he was 3 for 5 from 3 in the game, and I think those 3 threes were in the second half, and he was a part of that offensive onslaught. I mean, that's what wins you games, is you have a run like that where you just go off on like a 12-2 run or something, or like a 15-3 run or something like that. That wins you a game, especially in the regular season, because against a bad team, they just kind of give up at that point. And against good teams, they're like, I don't really care that much. And that wins you a lot of games, So if you can do things like that, where you just like explode, fantastic. We've got to give credit to Donovan Mitchell. I didn't mention him much last game because it's just vintage Donovan Mitchell scoring points. Tonight, his shooting was a little off. I felt like he was pressing in the first half a little bit. 5 for 14 from the field's not good enough. But he had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and he's facilitating the ball better. And I think that's that next step that we hope to see, along with getting more free throw shooting. Tonight, Donovan took 5 free throws, which you'll take. Every time Donovan Mitchell can get to the line and get those easy buckets, because he's become an elite free throw shooter, fantastic. That's manufacturing points. But what I want to see from Donovan is just more facilitating, more finding the corner 3. Like that play he had where he goes to the right corner to Bogdanovic, buries the corner 3. That's money every time. Fantastic. And he was finding Mike Conley for open shots. I love it. It's fantastic. Rudy Gobert, you've got to give credit. 20 rebounds for the game. Monster night just defensively. He just has Ayton's number. I don't think you can really get a good sense of how good Ayton is from the offseason because he's going against Rudy Gobert, who is the best defender in the league. He's amazing. And tonight was no different. Tonight, 17 rebounds, or 20 rebounds, 11 points. Fantastic night for Rudy. And he was a plus 24, it looks like. Unbelievable. He's such a dominant force defensively. And when he's rebounding like that, passing the ball, hitting his free throws, 7 for 10 from the free throw line, 70%. Fantastic. That wins you games. And like we said, Jordan Clarkson, just another night. He's going to be the sixth man of the year. He's going to be sixth man of the year. Jordan Clarkson is. He is getting a green light. He is going to score like crazy. And he's going to, he just doesn't seem to get injured. And he is just doesn't fatigue. He's going to be fantastic for Utah. There's two players we got to talk about. One is Udoka. We call him Doke, I guess. A monster. He got ejected from in this game because he's just so massive, and he clobbered I think it was Abdul Nader. Hopefully he's okay because it was a scary fall. But Udoka is a beast. When he jumps to block a shot, it's frightening. It scares me. It shrivels me, because when a big man like that can leap like that and block shots, it is just there's something to that, guys. When there's a guy that can do something that is honestly frightening and intimidating. Do any of you want to go drive to the rim and have Udoka jump 4 feet in the air to block the shot and land on top of you with his 270-pound body? It's scary. And there's players that you can already see when you watch the game. They go in, they back out because they don't want to mess with Udoka. They don't want that Doka-doke. They don't. And then the other guy you get excited about if you're a Jazz fan is Elijah Hughes. This guy is got the talent. He's got the three-point shot. He can drive to the hoop. And his passing is impressive. He can pass out of the pick and roll already. He is a polished player. His lobs are beautiful. He's the one getting all these Doka dunks we see. They're coming from Hughes lobs. So it's, the Jazz got two nice picks, and Elijah Hughes might be the steal. He might be the one to start getting really excited about, because he can shoot and he can pass the ball and he can handle. It's exciting stuff. And if he can just take another step, if he can become at least adequate defensively, or maybe a plus defender, why not? Because he's apparently 6'6". That's exciting stuff. And this is a guy that can start getting more minutes, because you can never have enough scoring, shooting, and playmaking. Never. And if you have a guy that can do all three, that's where you start getting a guy that's a stud. And I don't know what he's going to be, but right now it's time to start getting a little bit excited about what the Jazz have in Elijah Hughes. He is going to get more and more and more minutes. And if he can play like this against rotation guys, and if he starts doing this against starter level guys, holy smokes, start the trade machine. Find some ways to get this guy minutes, Guys, I'm a little tired. I don't know why. I might need to get some sleep. But make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. Another Jazz win, 2-0, baby, in the preseason. Probably a sign for them to go undefeated in the regular. Talk to you later.